Well, good morning, everyone. Whether you're watching this on YouTube, Rumble, or maybe even X, I don't know. I put them on all three. So, like I said, don't know where you're going to be watching, but I'm sitting over here. It's Wednesday morning uh, in Cambodia, and like I said, I'm getting ready to go to USA uh, soon next week. Uh, don't really want to go. Been kind of cranky about it. Don't really want to go. Long flight. Don't have no reason to go to USA. Um, Still gonna make some videos. I will when I get my new phone. As soon as I get there, I got a couple things to take care of. But I'm gonna order me a new phone on my Amazon. I've already talked about the brand Doogie. But anyway, it was I'll unbox it on a video, and you guys can see me unbox my new phone, man. Like I said, I got to order it because they don't sell them in the stores. I don't know why nobody sells them, but they just don't. Really good phone. Like I said, they're not paying me nothing um, to talk about their phone. They don't. Company don't even know who I am. So, anyways, I always give shout outs to companies that uh, I use. Like I said, I use a Doogie phone. Last 5 years, been using that, and worked out really nice for me. Also, I use and they don't pay me nothing for saying this. I use a Surfshark because I am in a third world country, and I use a VPN, man. Right now, my computer. Everyone thinks I'm in San Francisco, California. That's what my computer said, but quite far from there. So, anyways, I get comments and stuff, and I appreciate everyone that watches my videos, man. I get comments sometimes, and I appreciate everybody's comment. Like I said, everybody got different opinions about different things, and that's good. That's a good debates, good discussions to have. I wish I could debate with some people. Just peaceful debates, sit in the chair, man. Maybe drink a coffee or something. You know what I mean? And sitting around talking about things. But anyway, so I can't really do that in the comment section. It's just too much writing, and the comment would be way long. I can't really do that. But some of the comments, because of something I said on the shorts about the lazy people just sucking up people's taxes and stuff, and gaming the system, and that's what it is to them. It's just a game. Okay, I see all the time people making videos on other people's YouTube channels and stuff about how they can't make it. Everything's so expensive, and like I said, I'm going to see it firsthand when I go over there soon. I already kind of see it because I've made some reservations, different hotels where I'll be staying, and a rental car type thing. So I've already kind of seen the prices because I'm aware of that. But what they need to get rid of is people that are gaming the system. You guys are getting gamed, man. You're getting gamed by the politicians. You're getting gamed by these big corporations. You're getting gamed by these social media outlets. You're getting gamed by people online, man. A lot of those people that you see online, they're not even real. I use I post my videos on X, used to be Twitter, and I follow people follow me, and then I follow them back because, like I said, I'm trying to get my brand out there. I live rich Cambodia for when people shit goes sideways over there in the USA, man. You guys are gonna need a place to go, and my website's gonna be right there to help you come over here. So, and that's just for the people that have some kind of asset, some kind of money, because some kind of intelligence. Because you come over here, man, you just can't just sit around, man. There's just no way unless you're rich, man. If you got a lot of money, you're cool then. But I tell my wife sometimes about people that I've known in my life that just game the system. It's what it's called, and she's kind of shocked. Like I said, I get a lot of these on my X account. I have two X accounts, and the one of them is Live Rich Cambodia, like the channel, and then the other one just has I don't know, a bunch of number stuff. Anyway, it just says Michael on it. But it's just full of women. It's full of women, and they always have in their pictures. Either they have their back to the camera, you can see the back of their head, or they just have a avatar thing, whatever it is. And most of them are wanting me just just to send them money. Okay. They're just gaming the system, and they take these photos and they put them on X to give you like a little taste of what you could be seeing. And I'm like, I just tell them, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I just usually tell them on the chat. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not playing that game. You're not getting $1 from me. I live in a poor country. Okay. And I am surrounded by poor, beautiful young Asian girls, ladies, whatever you want to call them. If I could play that game, I'll play it right here, man. I ain't playing that shit on no phone and no laptop work. I'm gonna send you some pictures and you're gonna see me like, oh hell no, man. I ain't playing that. You guys can play that game with them if you want, but I'm not down for that. That's just like I said. That's one of the reasons that I left USA. Just that kind of stuff going on, but. I know that people game the system because I've known a lot of people in my life. Like I said, 67. I've known a lot of people in my life. They just game the system. I'm going to give you guys a quick example. Just one example, okay? I'm just going to give you one. I used to know this female, and she was in her late 20s. And we were kind of friends with benefit type of thing. And she was on disability from the Social Security. She was on disability, and she was telling me she was waiting on her Section 8 to come through because she was kind of bed surfing, couch surfing, whatever you want to call it. And I asked her, I said, "What do you mean you're on disability?" And she said, "I'm on disability." And I said, "Well, what's wrong?" She said, "I have PTSD. I've been diagnosed with PTSD." And I said, "Well, was you in the Army? School shooting or something?" She said, "No." She said, when she was like 13 or 14, I don't remember, somewhere right in that age, one of her mom's boyfriends had molested her. And he didn't rape her or anything. He just was touching her inappropriate, which is absolutely wrong. I'm not excusing any kind of behavior like that. It's absolutely wrong. And she turned him in, which was the right thing to do. And he ended up going to prison. And his life in prison is going to be a living hell. Okay. So anyways, but nevertheless, she said she had only worked for 3 months in her life. She worked at a fast food place for like 3 months. She said, but the stress was too much for her. So she left. That's the only job she ever had. She worked at a fast food place for 3 months. She said the stress was too much. Well, I've never worked in a fast food place, but I've watched them, and I would imagine the stress is quite a bit in working in a fast food place. But anyway, she gamed the system, okay, and she would talk about how she would go see a therapist once a week, which the government pays for, and she had like a small bag full of all kind of pills she took and whatever else, but. For me, there wasn't really nothing wrong with her as far as I could tell. She could have an intelligent conversation with me. There were just probably many things she could do. There was no problem in the bedroom. I'll leave it at that. So I couldn't see anything really wrong with her that kept her from working, except for she just didn't want to work. And she said she was waiting on her Section 8 so she could get her own place. She wasn't going to have to couch surf, bed surf, whatever you want to call it. And that's just one example. Okay? It's like I said, she was in her late 20s. I don't remember her exact age. It's been a long time ago. And I'm not excusing what happened to her, but in order to get that lifetime disability kind of like thing, man. Like I said, and the taxpayer, she only worked for 3 months, so I know she didn't pay nothing in the system. And I've known so many people in my life that have been on that disability thing, and there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, they'd work on the side, they'd just do all kind of stuff, make some money. They just, like I said, they just game the system. And that's one thing I like about living over here in Cambodia. Okay, if there's something really, really wrong with you, your family's going to know about it. Okay? They're just going to know. Okay? And they're going to take care of you because they don't have no government program over. They have no Section 8. They have no disability. They have none of that stuff. Okay? If you can't take care of yourself, and your family is going to know whether or not you're faking or whether or not you're just being lazy, but you're going to have to do something. Okay? You're going to have to get out there in the field and do some rice planting or some mango picking or whatever the situation is, because your family will not just take care of you for no reason. Okay, obviously, if there's something really wrong with you, the families will, but your family's going to know right off, man, if you're just being lazy, and they'll just push you out, man, and you'll be living underneath the coconut tree eating leaves. Okay, that's just the way it goes, and I like that. I think the USA needs the same thing. One of the comments was I had made a statement that if women can't take care of their children, then they need to just give them over to the state. And the state would have to take care of them. And the person left a comment. They said, "Yeah, but that's still tax money." And I gave them a thumbs up and I thank you very much. But let me tell you, if some lady's got 4 or 5 kids or whatever it is, whatever situation is, different daddies, and she just game in the system, you take those kids from her and push her out on the street. Okay? If she got to go sell her body, that's what she got to do, man. If she got to eat leaves and sleep underneath a park bench, I don't care. Take those kids, put them in a nice home, nice foster home, and just push her out on the street. Okay? Not my problem. Okay? That's what the USA needs to do. They won't do it. I wish they would, but they're not going to. There's just, like I said, just so many people that game the system in all different kinds of ways, and all those corporations stuff, they're gaming the system too. Okay, all of them are. All the way from food stamps, where I think like 20% of Walmart's income comes from food stamps. In other words, the government is paying Walmart. Okay, or all those other places people can use those EBT cards. They get a large percentage of their sales from those cards. So in other words, the government, you, the taxpayers in the USA, are paying these companies, these grocery stores, with your tax money. And like I said, I don't mind paying my fair share in taxes. I have no problem doing it. I don't want to see it just being wasted, just being thrown around like it's nothing. And all these people that come in here, they want to call them undocumented, or they can call them whatever they want. I don't care. Take care of yourself, man. You come up to the USA, and you come up there and you got your hand out for free money, and a lot of these people come up there, and these ladies, they have kids, so they're called anchor babies, and then they stay in there, and then they put down the father is unknown. Well, they know who the father is. They just put unknown on the birth certificate because that way the government doesn't go after the father for child support. I've seen that a lot too. Okay, I've had women tell me that that's what they've done. They just said they don't know who they just tell whoever the hospital, wherever they do that at, and they just said they don't know. They don't know who the father is, but they know. They've told me that they know, but they don't want them going after them for child support. So, like I said, a lot of people are just gaming the system. This whole I just saw in the news there's been another school shooting. I mean, or something, I don't know. And people say, well, let's just take all the guns. Are you out of your mind? People must have bumped their heads, man, to say that let's just take all the guns. Okay? How's that drug war working out? Do you understand? Those guns, number one, you're not going to be able to take everyone's guns. Number two, even if you did, they're going to still smuggle them in. They're bringing in drugs every day. How are they going to stop the guns? Okay? I'm getting ready to go back to the United States, and I told my wife, it would take somebody a week or two in order to buy a firearm, in order to buy a gun legally. I could go back to the USA, and I bet you I could buy one within 2 days on the streets if I wanted to. I'm not going to. I don't need to do that, but I'm just letting you guys know that's how easy it is. Criminals are not going to hand those guns in, number one. Number two, it's just going to be a black market out there for selling stolen weapons and all the rest of that kind of stuff. Over here in Cambodia, nobody had no guns, only the police, and they have to leave those at the station. Uh, uh, I have a home defense system. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't want I don't want any problems, but it's not a gun and it's quiet. They don't make any sound. Okay. So there's other ways around doing things, and even if you take away all the guns, people can just do crazy stuff and just drive their car into a crowd of people, do whatever. I mean, just all kind of crazy stuff, man. And like I said, you people in the United States allow it to happen. That's your country. Like I said, I don't really claim the USA anymore. I just don't. I told my wife, I said Cambodia is my home now. That's just where it is. I still have my U.S. passport. Got to keep that so I can keep getting my Social Security and stuff. But I just don't. I don't claim that country anymore, man. I just don't want any part of that. I don't want no part of that craziness that's going on that you guys allow to go on. And you guys could take care of it if you wanted to. You guys could, especially the men. Well, I don't know if you even got men anymore. I don't know whatever you want to call them, but they just the whole all of it, right? In the schools and everything else, people just I do stuff online. I talked yesterday. I had a couple students from Indonesia, a couple really nice young ladies that could speak English very nice, and we were having a conversation. One of their school assignments, I believe they're in the university over there. One of their school assignments was to find a foreigner, somebody that they could speak English with, and talk about teaching and talk about different things. And there was a whole list of questions. And I was on Zoom with them for 30, 40 minutes. Really, really smart, intelligent young ladies. And I would tell them about some of the problems in the USA because they asked me why I didn't want to go back to the USA. And I told them, I said, it's just craziness. It's just absolute craziness over there. I don't want my daughter around it. I don't want my wife. I don't want my wife around it. I can take care of myself. Okay. Like I said many times before, you guys see on my profile picture what I'm sitting on. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. I can take care of myself. Okay. But my wife and daughter, I don't want them around that kind of stuff. I don't want them around it. I don't want my daughter in those schools learning all that crazy stuff. So, anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm making a video this morning. I gotta head into the city. I gotta take care of something here real quick before I leave. Anyway, so like I said, it's you guys' country. You might want to, I don't know, might want to take care of yourself over there. Like I said, if you don't, I'm just telling you, as an old guy who has lived here for the last 4 years, your life will be so much better, man, if you get the hell out of that USA. Okay. It's cheaper to live, blah, blah, blah. You can teach. You can do a lot of stuff over there. Okay. You got a laptop. You got some brains. Come over here, man. Like I said, right now it's free. I'll help you guys out, man. I got my Gmail address in the description. And if you guys can do the the subscribe thing, I'd really appreciate it. It's okay. Like I said, if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. It's all right, man. Anyways, you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you later.